Hi, it's John here from Speedy Brick, and I'm building the June wave of Speed Champion sets. And a couple of days ago, I built this little beauty, the Mercedes-AMG SL63. And while I was building it, I thought this is room for improvement. So let's get into looking at the model, seeing where there's some improvements needed, and see what the solutions are. Look at the Mercedes-AMG SL63. It's a fun little build. I quite enjoy this, and I quite like this slope or this rake of the car. It's kind of one plate higher at the back than it is at the front. And what's interesting here is that Lego seem to be using a 1/29th scale for this car, just like they did for the Lamborghini Vision, which is slightly smaller than the January wave of 8 wide Speed Champion sets. And I'm not sure why, but it's quite a nice size. And in the last couple of years, we've floated between this kind of 30th, 29th scale, 27th scale. So it would be nice if they actually just picked one scale to work with. But if we look at the 29th scale for this car, we can see that dimensions aren't actually that bad. The worst part is really the windscreen. And I've kind of, in the background on the image below there, I've superimposed the car from above. So you can just see here that the windscreen is sort of poking out. And the other sort of major issue here is that this rear tire is just too far forward. But it might, because of this construction here, that just might be quite difficult to change. But if we look at the rest of the car, so the front design's pretty good, and the scale here is also pretty good. We're pretty much on 4/29th scale for the front and back, so that's good. So the main issue that I see is really the windscreen. It's just simply too low, and it's got the wrong shape. It's in the Lego model, it's a curved shape, and in a real car, it's just pretty much in line with the front of the car. So that doesn't really work for me. But when looking at the options, Lego actually don't have that many 6 wide windscreens. I saw 3 different kind of options that could be used, but you'd either have to modify them, cut them down, or set them at an angle to match the real car. This slope of the windscreen. So this here you just can't do it. So that's something we need to fix. And then the second issue that I have with the interior is the steering wheel. It's just too small. So we need to fix that as well. And then the other issue is this kind of funny bonnet, or the hood, which has these raised elements on the side. And it's quite interesting building technique, but it's not really matching the real car. So I think that's an issue. So we want to smooth that out, and it's only 2 wide opening here. So I want to make it 4 wide. So let's get into it and see what solution we can come up with. So that's the end result, and I'll go through and just talk about the bits that I have altered. But before I do that, I'll just mention, the rear wheel should actually be 1 stud further back. But the problem I have is that this plate in here, which is this shape, there's no one of these, which is kind of a 2x3, or kind of half of that. That doesn't exist in kind of that bit doesn't exist, or that bit doesn't exist, or that bit doesn't exist. So that's my limitation. So I've decided to leave it as it is. And we look to the front. We'll go to the bonnet first. So I've made the bonnet 4 wide, and I've recessed the attachment point down. And I wanted to maintain using this tile with a sticker on it, and I've lowered the whole thing down, and I've just opened up and made this wider. So this slot is fitting over top of this black gold brick. So it closes nicely. And just to make sure that it's got something to rest on, I've raised this up and opened that up. I've also put here a 1x1 tile, and this is a G-slope on either side. So that's from that side. And then for the windscreen, what I decided to do was put in here 2 of these brackets. And to have a slope to fit onto, I've changed those as well. I've actually lowered this front piece down. Formerly it had these little dome pieces here, but because the windscreen is going in there now, it doesn't fit. This piece is effectively the same height, and that's actually what the windscreen is resting on. And then I've also put in a larger steering wheel. I really don't like these little. They're great for a city, Lego City size car or a 6 wide. They're fine, but for an 8 wide, not good enough. So I put in a nice steering wheel, and that's the end result. I wasn't certain whether I should put a tile here, so I put it on one side to see what it looks like. But you miss this line here. It sort of it's not as smooth, so I've left it off on this side. So what do you think? Is it an improvement? I think the windscreen is a better angle. I saw one example which I thought was really good. So a shout out to Gareth Pritchard, who sent me an image of him using this windscreen. And what he had done is he had, instead of putting, like I've done, putting it on an angle, he had cut this piece from kind of there to there so that it was still sitting on these 2 studs, and then he's cut that down so you just get that angle, and that makes a really good shape, and it's very close to the real thing. So I thought that was quite good. I've decided to go this way. I didn't want to cut any of my windscreens just yet, so this is the way I've gone. So let me know what you think, and until next time, bye. Please click to subscribe for more videos, and watch my build and review videos by clicking here. Thank you.